Uh, so, had a really great conversation with my friend Ben Davis today, who's done a couple one-man shows, and I've been really talking to all the people that have done this and really tried to get into their heads about the process. And he hit me with a bunch of really cool gems today. Really trying to find the story, really trying to find what it is, and how to do this in a way that it makes sense and that is not only, informative but entertaining and understanding and thought provoking. And, I, I'm really nervous about it kind of not being fun. Dealing with a lot of personal stuff and writing and sometimes watching these vlogs, I feel like I'm just like depressed all the time, and I'm not. This is really like helping me observe a chapter in my life and hopefully help me move to the next chapter. Jar Jar in Star Wars has been a monkey on my back for a really long time, and I allowed myself to be defined by it. And regardless of what other things I've done, it's always been this monkey on my back. And I always wanted to do other things. I mean, and I still want to do other things. I feel like there's so much more to offer, but I have to get this done for that reason. And Ben was asking me a couple things about the experience and my experience, and he was like, try to be truthful, really truthful, and unabashedly truthful, and almost embarrassingly truthful. And what is the thing that really bothers me? And I was writing today about what the thing that really bothers me is. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that I blame myself. And, a lot of things are irrational when you look back on it and are introspective. And I feel like I've made so many bad decisions. And I've been paying for those bad decisions. And, I was writing today about being arrogant. And all my life, I was told how arrogant I was, So it came from all sides, you're just arrogant, you're so arrogant. I wrote today that if somebody asked me my name when I was a kid, I probably would have told them my name is You're So Arrogant, Ahmed Best. All I heard was, you're so arrogant, you're so arrogant. But had to be because I no one really expected much of me where I came from. The thing that growing up in the Bronx in New York is good for is, they really know how to put black men in jail. They're great at it. And I knew that was a place that I never wanted to go. So when I saw the stage, I was like, oh, this is it. And I really excelled at being on stage, and I loved it, and I loved the audience reaction, and I was good at it. And because you get these constant messages of being nothing in these neighborhoods, and no one expecting very much of you and not amounting to anything, I pushed back against that. And I pushed back against that with being so arrogant, according to other people. I never thought I was arrogant, to be honest. And of course, on the outside looking in, you can't see it, but I probably was. I don't know. I probably was. But it was a defense mechanism against the neighborhood. and against teachers and people that are supposed to build you up. Just assuming that you're not going to be anything. But it stuck with me, you know, that whole "you're so arrogant" thing just stayed with me. So when everything happened with Jar Jar, I felt like I deserved it. Here is what hoping and thinking of yourself as something bigger and greater than your circumstance and your situation, and believing that you are better, believing that you can achieve. Well, here's the comeuppance, right? And I heard all the people call me arrogant, laughing and pointing, saying, "You see, you thought you were above it all. You thought that this wasn't gonna touch you. You thought that you could just be great and go on and achieve and be the best, but nope. Mr. Arrogant finally got what was coming to him." This is what I thought in my head, you know? Who did I think I was being in Star Wars? Who you think you are? Thinking that you can pioneer a way of making movies, thinking you could change the game and get acknowledged for it. Who did I think I was that history was supposed to remember me? I'm wiped out of the history books when it comes to this in most respects. Just the other day I was at dinner and somebody was just like, "But you were just the voice, right?" Performance capture and motion capture doesn't mention me. I remember when I was in grad school and somebody did, like, we had some sort of industry professional come and talk to the class about innovation in filmmaking, and they got to motion capture, and it was a terrible lecture, and it was just awful, and the person who was asked to come in was terrible, and you know, the department that invited this person was just, I don't know what they were thinking about, but they got to this point where they talk about performance capture and Andy Serkis, right? And I'm sitting there in the class having to listen to it, and I'm watching students write this down. So who did I think I was, thinking that history was going to remember me as, you know, groundbreaking in a specific genre and technology? Who did I think I was? I'm an arrogant little kid from the Bronx. I'm an arrogant little black boy from the Bronx. What made me think that I could be anything greater than that? And this is what goes through my head. And I think this is what hurts so much. I want to believe that I can be bigger than that. I want to believe that history will remember me and acknowledge me for my work and my accolades. And I want to be I want what I've always wanted since I hit the stage in second grade. I don't want to be lost. I don't want to be forgotten about. I don't want to be dismissed. I worked hard. I worked hard, and I was so proud of it. But the hardest part is maybe I deserved it, you know? Everyone took so much joy in my life from taking me down a peg. I got locked in to the animation, and I've been forever trying to break out of it. George once said to me privately, "You did a great job." It wasn't your fault. He said that to me once, you know. I've never heard him say, you know what? Ahmed was in there. He made this work. He was part of the process. He should not be lost to history. I don't want to be a footnote. I don't want to be a Jeopardy question. Answer. Stop me before I started. And I keep saying you don't deserve this, you don't deserve this, you don't deserve this. But in the bag, in the you're so arrogant shit that I grew up with. I think a part of me thinks I do. I don't want to deserve it, but this is the hard part of this thing, man.